start with our 2D animation. Okay, so this will be timing and spacing. Timing basically is, if it's a 2-second animation, that's your timing. You basically do the timing when there's contact or, you know, whatever the midpoint is and whatnot. Spacing is how you kind of space out or compress your in-betweens, which gives it the principles of animation regardless which one you're actually aiming for. But we're going to do here the classic ease in or ease out or slow in, slow out type, okay? And we're just going to use a circle right here to do the job. So I'm going to change my timeline to 24 frames, so we get 1 second of animation, okay? And I'm on frame 1 right now, so let me just kind of zoom in on this. So I'm just scrolling the mouse and then middle click dragging, okay? So we have our 24 frames, okay? And I'm going to get a, for this one, I'm just going to get a circle, okay? Let me click undo on that one, get my strength to 1, keep forgetting that. I'm holding down shift also so I get a perfect circle. All right, right there. And then I can just kind of duplicate this and then move it on different frames, okay? So what I'll do is if I go here on edit mode and then I press A to select the whole thing and press G to move, I can just move that around. So it doesn't matter where I'm positioning that now, it's on frame 1, right? So our timing here would be on frame 1, this is where it's at, and then let's actually move it closer. Right here, okay? So I'm putting it on GX so it can only move left and right, okay? I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to go to frame 24. So our timing would be 1 second. This thing would move to the right over here. Okay? So there it is. So if we take a look at it, all right, basically that's it. So I'm also going to, on frame 1 right here, because this will be our linear or constant animation where you're just spacing it out evenly, and that's how you get in your animation, okay? So that would be the spacing for it. So I will copy this again. On frame 1, I'm going to go Shift D and just basically move this move it down here so that we get an exact copy of it and position, okay? And I wonder if I can actually, I'm just going to eyeball it on this one. So I'm going to go to frame 24 and do the same thing on this one. Okay, so hopefully that's the same line right here. Anyway, okay, so we're going to go to frame 1 right here. Okay, go back to this one. And since we're spacing it out equally, I'm going to go to frame 12. And I'm going to just basically make a copy of this one. Okay, Shift D. I'm going to go G, X. So that's our midpoint right there. Okay. And then I'll do the same thing on this one. Shift D, GX. It's kind of eyeball that. Let's say that's halfway point. Okay, so this would be our timing, where in frame 1 we're at the beginning, frame 12 we're in the middle, and then frame 24 we're at the end. Okay, so if we're just doing a linear animation where this thing just goes 1 frame at a time, equal distribution, okay, 18 to 24, then that will be a constant animation, kind of like a machine moving left to right. It doesn't accelerate or decelerate. It's just perfect all the time, okay? So let's do another one of that. So I'm going to go to frame 6. I'm going to go halfway, Shift D, GX, right there. And then if we go to frame 18, okay, we can go here and then Shift D, GX. All right, so if I play my animation now, okay, it's just basically traveling through those positions, all right? Let me go to my draw mode right here. Okay, I mean, I'm leaving those as reference point right here. Okay, so and I'm doing the Shift D so that it just kind of left behind here, so that when we actually look at the animation to study it, we see all the frames basically. I mean, I could do that with onion scanning, but it's probably easier to actually see them. Okay, so I'm going to go to frame 2 here. So that's frame 6. If I were to go to edit here and then just kind of fill in the blanks basically, right? So I'm going to do, so let's go to frame 4. I'm going to go in between, Shift D, GX. All right. Then obviously we go to 5 here, it'll be in between, GX right here. And, oh, I made a boo-boo there, but you get the point. I'm going to go to just frame 3 here. Shift D, GX in between. So you can see here the progression is just kind of going, you know, one at a time. All right. And then we're going to go to frame 9 right here. I'm going to put it in between. Okay. I'm going to go to frame 7. Frame 8. Frame 9, frame 10, frame 11. All right. Then, of course, frame 12. We go to frame 13. We're going to go here to frame 15, which is in the middle right there. Frame 12. We go to frame 13. Frame 14, 15 of course, then 16, 17, 18 right there. We got 21 to go in between, 19, 20, 21 of course, to 22, then 23. All right, so if we have all these things here, even after like playing this, you could see right there, and the positions of the major positions and the in between. All right, so with this, what we're seeing is that it's linear, right? It's the same speed relative from left to right. It doesn't slow, it doesn't accelerate. So the spacing here is pretty much the same, okay? It's distributed equally, all right? So this is timing, right? The major positions, and then our spacing is how we draw those and how we bunch them up. Here, since they're moving just a little bit over to the right each time, then the movement that we get on top is pretty much a constant constant movement. All right. So now let's do the spacing, where we're going to apply a slow speed at the beginning and then slow end. So we're going to see some acceleration in between. All right. So again, when we're at number 5 here, or number 6, depending on where was I, 6, and then yeah, because we didn't use 0, so that's why hence we got that blank right there. All right, so right here we're exactly in the middle of 1 and 12, where the 6th position is, right? So on this one, if we bunch up those, let's say if I go to number 2 right here, we're going to apply 1, okay, and then we just simply move this thing GX just slightly. And then we go to number 3 right here. We move that just slightly. You can tell it's moving, but it's moving super slow, because what we're doing with the spacing is we're basically bunching it up. Okay? Go to number 4. Okay? You can already tell right here, if I play this, that thing barely moves right there. Okay? Because it has that, the spacing, it's just kind of bunched up together. Okay, then we can go to number 5. Just move that just slightly, but I'm kind of increasing the gap a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go to number 6. moving it a little bit right there. Again, we hit the middle at around 12, so it's going to start kind of moving a little bit further on this one. Okay, I'm just kind of check. All right, there we go. Number 8. Okay, number 9, or frame 9, not number 9. Frame 9. Okay, and then we go to frame 10. All right, so I'm getting more to the right now. There's okay, and then 11. That's our destination right there. So this will be quite drastic right there. So if we play this, all right, so it slowly starts and then it just jumps in the middle, and then we'll basically just do the exact same thing here. Okay, on 12 right here. Okay, we're gonna go to 13. So we're going to move this. It's going to move a little bit because of the speed. So between 12, 11, 12, 13, it's quite a big gap. 14, slightly to the right. Okay. And then just want to make sure where we ended up here. 24, right there. Okay. 14, all right. And then 15. We're going to start kind of slowing it down now. Frame 16, 17, frame 18, 19. I'm going to bunch this up a little bit more here. 20, 21, 22, 23, and since I messed that up, I'm going to move 24 where it should be. Right there. Because that's my mistake. I thought it was over here. It's actually over here. But let's watch it. There you go. And it went up a little bit because it's not really matching on the 24. Let's fix that real quick. It's kind of GZ. Right there. All right, so we kind of move a little bit timing on that one, but you get the point right there. So that's simply because we bunch up everything, and I can show that through our onion skinning right here. So it's kind of increase all the onion skin here till we can see 24. All right, so of course I made a mistake right here because I was looking at the wrong circle. It was actually supposed to be over here. I looked at it over here. Anyway, so the first one, again, same timing. This is 1 second worth of movement. Okay, so it looks like here when you play them, I mean, the other one is just moving in constant speed. This one has a principles of animation, slow in, slow out. Okay, but it's just the same timing. It's just 1 second. Okay. So it gives it that illusion that it's actually, you know, sometimes they use this as optical illusion where they ask which one's faster, the top or the bottom, and then it looks like, you know, one is going to be faster over the other one, but they both reach the same kind of end. Okay, just ignore my mistake right here because it's supposed to be at the same location on this one. So this is timing where the beginning and end 124, and relatively 12 is included on this one because that's the halfway point. And the spacing is how you draw your in-betweens. And where you bunch them up, it creates those principles of animation. All right, so we're going to end the lesson right here.